I don't know how to describe how I felt about it, but I just felt like in a weird space because I was like, I just had Kanye West come through Chicago.
Right.
For the first time in a long time. He basically lived with me for like 2 months.
Big Boy
Big
neighborhood.
Boy.
All righty now, beautiful day in the neighborhood,
Yes,
ladies
it
and
is.
gentlemen.
Beautiful.
Chance the Rapper in the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the neighborhood, bro.
I'm finally here.
Yeah,
yo.
it is a
You're
pleasure to
here.
see you, man.
It's an honor to be here.
Oh man, I guess it would be for you. You know what I'm saying? I guess it would be for you, man. I'm just so glad that you said it because even before you walked in, we was like, I wonder if he knows that it's an honor for him to be here. And you recognize
Make sure he
it.
says that.
We were just briefly talking off air, man, and he complimented Ide on her hoodie, right?
My
And what was the
courage sweater.
backstory on the hoodie?
We went to go see Chance at the Greek Theater, and it was really cold.
Do
And,
you remember that night when you met us?
Or actually, it wasn't the Greek. I'm sorry. It was the Hollywood
Hollywood
Bowl.
Bowl.
See, gotcha.
Hollywood Bowl.
Gotcha with your lying ass.
You're a
Go
liar.
back to Sunday
Got
service.
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
God.
dare
and
you.
I was really
This is my worst
cold.
fear.
And Big went and bought me this sweater. He came back, and I love it so much.
And you know what? And I
Because it has
told
the
her, I
big three in
said,
the back,
man,
too.
you still
In the
haven't
back.
paid me for that merch. And merch costs quite a bit.
It does.
But you gave it to me.
I don't remember giving
No,
it
I
to
do.
you. Like, I don't
do.
want to argue in front of Chance, and I don't want to use his valuable time. But what did I say when I got it for you? I said, hey, this is a gift to you?
You said, here, don't be cold.
That's nice of you,
That
babe.
doesn't
Yeah.
sound like a gift.
Yeah. That sounds
Yeah.
like it comes with interest.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm- So let me ask you
long-standing.
this, Chance. Now that you're here, did you bring anything else for us
Yeah.
today? Are you bearing gifts? Because usually people come in and give us gifts. I just had a birthday a couple days ago. You
Happy
didn't
belated
show up.
birthday,
Thank you. I
Big.
appreciate you, my love.
I was aware that it was an honor, but I didn't know that it was like the type of honor that you brought the gifts for. So next time that I come,
You know
Wow,
what?
next time.
bring-
Oh, he's going to give us that. Huh?
Yes.
Right. Man,
Wow.
I'm
I'm feeling.
doing terrible so far.
Hey,
You
dude,
are.
I'm feeling
I'm
more
so
call-ins now.
Oh
I'm feeling,
my-
I'm,
That's
I'm
for
feeling
you.
more
That's
call-ins
for
from
you.
you.
Is this a lotto ticket?
Yeah, we've got that for you.
Yeah, man.
I've
the
never
date, though.
played the lottery before.
All you're going to
Well-
do is win and donate it to charity.
Right? All you're gonna do is give it
It's
to the
like,
school.
what nice thing can I do with this?
Yeah.
How can I bless someone else
cool
with
are you?
this?
Always paying
Someone
it
take
forward. The big day.
Yes.
The new album.
Congratulations.
What is the big day, bro? Why is it the big day? Why that title?
Man, it's based on what my life is right now, as all my projects.
You know, we
have
always
been.
ask the original questions.
Yeah, it's like, so
Yeah.
what is this album?
What is
about?
this new album?
Yeah, no, it's my debut album. You know,
That's so
been
crazy.
I've been putting out mixtapes by myself for
Right.
a long time and just giving them out to people for free.
That's crazy.
And
So long.
So this is it's crazy that dude when you said this is my debut
Debut.
album. That sounds crazy. Is it different going in to make this? Do you see how we see how
We're on
we're like
the same
twinning?
wavelength.
Yeah, we're
right
like
now.
twinning
There's a
right
wavelength
now.
going.
Hey man, you felt it too?
I do.
Wow.
It's tripping me out. It's
I
tripping
know, me
out.
too.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I hearing?
Okay.
No,
and when I-
no. Is it
Peanut
different
butter.
when you go to make an album? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
it
because
is.
now there's followers. Is there an expectation? Is there more of a pressure?
Here's the thing: when I was coming up, I have a few friends in the industry that are like, really close people to me, like Jeremiah, Quavo, Young Thug. There's certain people that and there's way more obviously, but like people that like actually know my family that I'm cool with, and I've known for years. When I was putting out my mixtapes, a lot of different people that were my friends used to, at different times just complain about their relationship with their label, right?
Right.
One of the big issues that a lot of people had was in terms of content that was in their contract that they had to produce. They had to put up a certain number of albums, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem was they would come up with this content and release it, and the labels would deem it a mixtape or an EP or a project that did not count towards their contract.
Wow.
So one of the biggest differences between mixtapes and albums, post, artists deciding what that meant, was labels deciding what counted towards their obligation and what didn't. And so when I was dropping mixtapes, I realized that a lot of my friends were dropping albums, but they were getting called mixtapes.
Wow.
Not because of them, but because of their because of their label. And I think for me, one of the greatest freedoms is getting to choose what I think my music is
I
at a
heard
given
that.
time. You know what I mean?
And so you're in control, kind of the so-called your own destiny.
The narrative.
Yeah, the narrative.
The narrative.
You know, I never really use that
That's
word.
That's a good word,
yeah,
yo.
it is.
Once you
know what I'm
say it
saying?
once, you can't
so
stop
you
saying
being in charge of the narrative.
The
you know what I'm
narrative
saying?
is mine.
And that being your narrative, that's why you call this one the album.
Yes.
At
Exactly.
what point did you decide that it was going to be an album?
I think I knew once I finished making Acid Rap, I liked the idea of doing a trilogy. So because just based on the artworks of my first two mixtapes, 10 Day and Acid Rap, look very similar. I was like, I think I got one more mixtape with my big ass head on the front of it before I eventually go out and do something different and make my album. And what happened in my life, the biggest change between, the mixtapes and now is I got a ring on it. You know what I'm saying?
She
I
put a
got
ring on
chose.
it.
I got chose. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in a good place.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So like, I guess the biggest difference between Chance the Rapper mixtapes and albums is on my albums, I'm going to be married on them.
We look at hip hop, or we look at entertainment, and there's so many people that don't want that. Like, they want to pop the bottles, they want to be at the club, they want to be in a life with multiple people. Why was it important for you to not be caught up like that and to grab that one other and then start to multiply?
It was either or. I feel like the reason why a lot of us get stuck is because we have, we don't have like any real ultimatum. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any real motivation to be like, I can only have this. I know a lot of people that would consider themselves seriously dating like 4 or 5 people. And that just means that like they're not all the way in, but they do have like certain boundaries that they've set between these relationships. And I feel like you get to a certain point where it's like, I could either have this, I could have all this, or I could have all of this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I just figured it out at a certain point. And for me, the real crazy thing isn't me figuring it out. It was that my wife let me back in. Like,
What does that mean?
I mean, me saying I'm cool with it doesn't mean that it's gonna happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had opportunities for a long time to propose to my wife. Like, we've been together. I know my wife since I was 9, right?
It's crazy.
I love that thread that you shared on Twitter about how you guys
How I
really
first saw her,
how
yeah.
you
When
first
she was
met.
singing.
Yeah, she was doing
So
a
you
little
knew.
Destiny's Child thing. I was like,
That's her.
we're gonna be talking about this on Big Boy's Neighborhood.
That's her.
Does it trip you out that your guys' life had like overlapped in that sense, or
Yeah.
like crossed paths? Like, how do you often think of that? Like almost
Definitely.
fate?
Yeah, I feel like, for one, all right, so everybody doesn't know this about me. I'm going to say it real quick. I'm a dancer first, right? I grew up dancing in talent shows, dancing in dance crews. I'm from
That's
Chicago.
dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a huge, ghetto tech, footwork, juking. There's a lot of different, like, areas to dance in. And it wasn't until I was probably around 13 or 14 I even found out that I liked making music. My wife and her sister, her sister is one of my best friends. We're all in Chicago. Everybody's close.
dope.
Like, they grew up dancing and like ballet and doing a lot of stuff. And I think that is, significant that the first time I saw my wife, we were dancing, or that, that me being inspired to finally make my debut album came from the dancing at my wedding reception. Like,
Wow.
Dancing has like become, and throughout my life, it's been a motif, but it's become increasingly present in like my moments of joy. So like, I like dancing. That's
Go ahead
basically
now.
what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end it
Hey,
where I
man,
now
like
we're
to
gonna
dance.
do
It almost
dance.
sounded like you wanted to start dancing here, but I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
is that gonna
No,
break-
I don't
is
know
that
how
gonna
this
break
gonna
the
work,
interview?
yo.
What kind
Closer
of dad
moves.
is Chance the Rapper? Now you have 2 now.
Yeah, I'd like to be a better one, but I would say I'm not a piece of shit.
Right? Yeah.
I'd say I do pretty well. I got so the biggest thing that I'm learning right now is like, all right, having 2 kids way harder than having 1 kid.
Yes, sir.
Especially when the older one is 3 years older. So like, just obviously she has more needs now and wants to be,
He needs more attention.
Yeah, celebrated and
Yeah.
And it's
engaged.
almost like they know that this little one is here. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Like, yo,
okay.
she's invaded.
And it's crazy because she's very almost overprotective of her sister and trying to like tell me and my wife like, hold her head up. Like it's like you're a baby, like you don't know. But it's like having to like split that attention and really like dedicate time to both of them. And then also like in the fact that my daughter is more, she needs more now. My wife is the same way. Like, like we're both raising our oldest, but now she's got a fresh nugget
man.
out
Martin.
of there. And yeah, that baby's super fresh. So like what I've been doing is like I got Kinsley out here with me right now. So like mom's got some time to, to be with the
Kinda be
baby
one-on-one.
one-on-one,
Yes, sir.
and not have the pull of, and then just like, waking up in the middle of the night, doing, warming up some milk. I warm up some milk pretty good.
You do you change diapers?
I'm a great diaper changer.
Nice.
Same, brother.
I don't think changing diapers is that bad, to be
Yeah, I
honest
trip
with
up
you.
when people are like, oh, I can't. I'm like, nah, bro. I used to love to change the diapers on my babies. Like,
I'd much rather change a diaper than like, I don't know,
Wear
wake
one?
up in the middle of the night. Yeah, there's so many different things
Yeah.
that I'd rather change a diaper than do.
yeah, definitely wouldn't want to wear one either. You know, not at this time.
Not
in our
I.
lives, you know what I'm saying? Unless
Not
you're gonna sell it
today.
as merch. You know what I'm saying? You ever thought about selling diapers at your show?
That's a good
How
idea.
dope would
You
that
should.
be? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure
Marley
dumbasses
diapers.
will buy it.
I feel like my fans grow with me. Like every day I get like a fan that's like, we just got married today. I'm like, how many weddings really happened since my album dropped? But I guess they're...
Or the whole, man, we made this baby off of you.
This
You know what I'm
baby's
saying?
name is Chance.
Yeah, have you had a kid named Chance? Somebody
Yeah, a
came-
lot. But I like that way more than when people are like, hey, I got a dog and I named my dog Chance.
Right, yeah, man. You need to stop by my restaurant. I got the Chance Burger.
Yeah. Like, yeah, give me my money. And they're like,
like I mean, coming up to me talking about how you
A Chance
capitalize
burger?
it, and I gotta feed my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Chance, was it hard for you to decide to delay your tour because of Marley?
yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, I really, really like performing. Like, if you've ever seen like any of my TV performances, SNL or Ellen, or obviously if you've ever been to a concert, like,
Yes, sir.
I really, really like being on stage, and you could see it. And obviously I just like to perform. And then there's another big part of it, just like wanting to perform my new music, like getting, because I could do it better in every case. Where Ask a Rapper and my fans could attest to this, like when you go to a live Chance the Rapper show, it's just better than the album. It doesn't make you not like the album. It makes you
Right.
want to go back and listen to it, but it's a better explanation of everything. And
Brings it to
so
life.
yeah, so I am a little salty, but I also like, I just know what needs to be done. And I know that like, it's not always, it's also like, why should I get to go on the road right now? Like my wife doesn't get to go many
But
places.
you know what
right
it
now.
is too? When you become like a father or in a real committed relationship, you're not thinking for yourself anymore. It's like pretty much everything that you're doing is for somebody else.
Yeah.
Like you would have never just postponed a tour just because you wanted to postpone a tour.
I would say like I have like a pretty great record, especially in like North America, like of like just, coming through and doing my thing. I really like to, man, I like to perform. Just talking about it is getting me excited.
yeah.
Like,
We'll clear
It's
everything out the
exciting
way.
to see you perform,
Get that
though,
out
to
the
be
system.
honest.
Yeah,
like
man.
you could feel it all in the crowd. It's like an energy that just, you feel it. It's crazy.
Who do you talk to when you postpone or push back a tour that the world's been waiting on? Of course, you talk to your queen.
I talk to, I have to talk to her mainly. Got to talk to God. Got to
Yes.
pray over these things.
Yeah, man.
Because we can't do this without God. And then like there's just like the natural line of it. Like I got to call my tour manager.
Yeah. That's
Them
probably
niggas
the
wanna
hardest
get
call to
paid.
make.
Yeah, like all the people I got to get paid, I got to call. But everybody's been super,
How
super
close
supportive.
were you to really going? Because it felt like when we talked about it, it felt like
Like it was here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The first show was gonna be Friday.
Yeah.
Like we going to the show.
Yeah. I'm very surprised that there's not rioters outside of my house. Like,
or like people, because now everybody got a device to just tear your ass
Trying
up
to meme
too.
you up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But how do you just not? You can't go against a man that want to stay home. Well, I guess they could, but for his kids,
it's called grace.
yeah, I heard that.
So like, there's this. Got to drop some knowledge right
Please
now.
do,
Please.
brother.
There's this idea, or maybe not idea, but what the Bible says is that no one could come to know Jesus without the Holy Spirit working on them, right? So it's like, it's not a choice. It's not like I believe in Jesus or I don't believe in Jesus. It's like literally a force. Like we all, like everybody loves talking about energies and and stuff like that. Like there's literally a force that has to work on you to make you understand. So like I understand the difference between a heart of flesh and a heart of stone. And when God's grace works on your heart, or when the Holy Spirit moves on you, you're allowed to experience things for what they really look like, as opposed to just, you know, brushing it off or maybe having a negative effect on you. And so I feel like these certain moments in life, like just like the overwhelming support that I got in the past couple of days over, you know, me, you know, there was a certain point where, like I said, I like to perform. I felt a little shame. I felt a little like why am I backing out? Like they're gonna be fine without me, not without me, but you know, seeing me intermittently.
You talking about as far as your family?
As far as my family, with my wife and my 2 daughters. From turning that into something that's just been celebrated and getting support, and it's nothing else other than God's grace. Like it's not just some people call things luck,
right?
Call it being special,
right?
I call that stuff being anointed.
I heard that.
Favored.
I got that favor, yo.
You do bring God up. We could tell you holy in the songs, concerts, and our conversations right here. Why is that so important that you do speak that into light?
I think everything is more imminent than we make it seem. You know what I'm saying? Like we like to like age trees with carbon dating and say that we've been around for 6 billion years. You know what I'm saying? Like or that just like things have been in existence and will continue to be in existence for a long time. And we don't really know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People like I know people that were my senior that were older than me that died before me. So I'm older than them now. Like we didn't know that was gonna go like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's a pressing thing. If you look at any political interviews, you know what I'm saying, or people talking about what's going on in this country right now. I hate that phrase when people say in this country right now.
But in this country right
now, you'll hear a lot of people say we're battling over the soul of America, over how we function as a country and for our own morality. And I think that just goes across every medium, like whether it's in media and how our homes function and how our relationships function and how, just how we operate as people. Like there is a push constantly from everything that you take in to just kind of be not on what Jesus was on. So I'm getting that. So like, I'm trying to tell you what I learned at least recently about what Jesus said.
Amen. And it's almost like there's so many outside influences as well, Chance, that you get this tug of war. Even with my kids, there's things that I teach my kids at the house, and there's things I teach my kids as a father, and sitting down as a family. And then you have this device here that's trying to pull. You know, I'm going against this device that's trying to pull either my kids away as well. So when I see how much of a family guy you are and how you're not afraid to speak about God, especially when sometimes it's not the most popular thing to do.
You know, least popular most times, right?
You know what I'm saying? But to hear you, to see you on stage and to see you perform and bring choirs and what your music is, man, like we also, and we do need that, because sometimes the only time people are going to hear the message is from whoever that messenger is that's in front of them. And this is my guy, Jose. Jose's my religious partner, right? And I call Jose my extension cord to the Lord. And what that is that he's right there and I'm plugged into him because he's a little closer. You know what I'm saying? So you are an extension cord to the Lord for a lot of people.
You really are.
And it makes it life. And not that it makes it cool, but it makes it life, because there is a message from a messenger that you got to get from Chance. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's not walking into the church looking at the minister.
Here's the deep part. We always talk about church, and like it's easy to like, especially for us as black people, like just our relationship with this country, our relationship with how a lot of us feel like Christianity was introduced to us, a lot of issues with, monies, or how the church operates with its pastors and its boards.
We're folded sometimes.
We have like a little bit of dissonance. But what's crazy is that the idea of the church isn't supposed to be brick and mortar. It's
Right.
not about the
Same.
space. It's supposed to be about us as people being like, okay, we understand what our mission is. We're linked up. The body of Christ is what the church is. And the body of Christ is all of us as just humans.
Yep.
So like, it doesn't have to, I believe totally, and I say this all the time to my friends, like I believe God talks to me through people all the time. So I'm always trying to be attentive. Like yesterday, I'll tell you a crazy story. This is pretty cool. Exclusive. Yesterday I was rehearsing for my Ellen DeGeneres performance.
Oh, it's so good.
You saw it?
I thought there was a preview.
Did you see it?
No,
I saw it.
It's pretty fire. You're gonna like it.
saw you
I'm
dancing.
telling you.
It's
I
my
saw you
favorite song on
dancing.
the album.
It's very, very good. So I might as well give it away now. So we performed in like this. I had this idea to do a Delphonics like Temptation style, suited and booted, white suit on like a old American bandstand type stage, like this little oval to like give this old like
Feel to
Ed
it.
Sullivan feel to
Yeah.
it. And we performed this song called Eternal or whatever. But I've been choreographing with my two best friends. Shout out to Paz and Lil Bit from Chicago. I've been dancing with them forever. And this was completely out of our comfort zone. So we're choreographing this dance and we're figuring out as we're going. And yesterday was our last day to rehearse it before we leave the studio. And we're going through it and kind of like trying to feel it out. And everybody wasn't there from the jump. So we're kind of like first now getting as a collective practice in. And it's not all the way together. And who walks by but Ciara?
Wow.
Ciara Wilson.
Wow. Out of all people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause she
Ciara.
could groove.
The princess is here.
Yeah.
Ciara. I'm sure you guys know. I don't have to say this, but Ciara's one of the greatest dancers
Yes,
of
she
all
is.
time. Literally, maybe this is just for my age group. I don't know, but videos like Promise, Ride.
One, two step.
One two step, obviously,
Yeah.
but there's like a certain album where she got really into choreo and like started doing a lot of mic stand work. We were all working with mic stands in our performance. So she's walking by and she just, I guess, grabbed one of my friends and was like, "Is that Chance the Rapper in there? Tell him to come out, take a picture, blah, blah, blah." I come out, I'm like, can I ask a huge favor? Can you just come in and look at our,
Dope.
at our joint and help us out with some steps? And she did. And we killed the performance. She gave us like the best pointers of all time.
Yo,
And we went
not
crazy.
like this.
It's literally these, yo. It's literally all that.
Hey
But
man,
it's like,
how crazy, and those are the things you can't understand. Like that, she just happened to be walking
and
by.
everything that she had to say to me, I had to attentively hear it, like it was coming in a way that could only come to me through grace or through God. You know what I mean?
Recently, Kanye brought his Sunday service to Chicago. What was that like, him having the Sunday service in Chicago and your experience with it?
It was crazy. I've had a crazy long relationship with Kanye now.
Yes.
So like I went from being like the kid that it's just like, I don't know, like I just love
Like, that's
Kanye.
Kanye.
And I'm from Chicago too. So
Right,
like,
means a lot.
and my stylistically, I like soul samples. I like a lot of comparisons drawn to Ye early on when I was still like just working on the local scene in Chicago. So like I just always loved Ye. And then I got to work with him on the life of Pablo. And he got to bring these vibes I was working on with Coloring Book into that space and kind of like watch how he worked it out and how he's continuing to work it out. And now Ye is like, he's like one of my spiritual advisors.
Yeah.
Like all he does is read the Bible and
man.
make samples and turn songs into gospel songs now.
Yeah.
That's like 100% his life work now. And like last year he came to Chicago for a little while and we worked on a few different things and it didn't, turn into an album. And I feel like there was a while where I was kind of like, I don't know, it felt weird to me and I was a little like, I don't know how to describe how I felt about it. But I just felt like in a weird space because I was like, I just had Kanye West come through Chicago.
Right.
For the first time in a long time. He basically lived with me for like 2 months. Not in my house, but my studio is very, very close to my house, let's say.
Yeah.
And he was in there 24 hours a day. So, and I was basically in there 23 hours a day. So we were like, in very close quarters. And just with everything that was going on outside the space of working on an album, I think both of our spiritual growth and both of the sides of things that we're trying to, dismount or just mess it up. We didn't finish an album, and so I felt weird about it. I was just like, man, I just had the opportunity of a lifetime, and it didn't come out the way I wanted to. But then the Sunday service thing happened. And then it got back to Chicago. And I think like 30,000 people that otherwise would not have gotten to see Kanye West got to see him for free and got to see him, I think, bring the most pure form of what he's probably, something inside of him has been trying to say forever. He got to bring it out. And I got to be there for it. And
Part of it.
and really, you know, it's dope because, like, all right, so when I go to church, I go to church probably, let's say, one Sunday a month, at least. I go to church late. I'm a late churchgoer, and I don't know if there's anybody else that like a part of their body just makes them get there right as the sermon's
Like
beginning.
you
You miss the
trying.
whole worship. Yeah, it's like an hour late every time on the dot. That's me. But what I do is, me and my wife, we play, you know, gospel music and do our own worship service before, because that's for people that don't go to church all the time. There's usually a worship service for half and then a sermon for half, and you know, church announcements and stuff in between. But like for the most part, that's how it's divvied up. I always do my worship in the car by myself, and I don't know if that's that. I know for a fact that that's not necessarily how I'm supposed to be doing it, but that's exactly what Kanye's Sunday service is. It's not church in that there's no one giving you a sermon or trying to like tell you, you know, what the weekly message is, but it is a blown out, I would say probably exactly the way Jesus would wants to see it, like a lot of people giving a shout, shouting a praise. And that's what it's supposed to be about. That's what you're worshiping for.
I have great moments there.
Yeah.
And I'll see people that'll say certain things, and I'm like, dude, you've never been there.
Yeah.
And I've literally seen I've seen people
Go crazy on it, right?
kind of come in folded, and then I just see them release. You know what I'm saying? And I
Once you're
see
there,
them
what can you
release.
argue with? Sorry.
Yeah, and I've seen like some of the most, you know, like I can name names, but I've witnessed people that I'm like, yeah, they got it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't go at first. I was getting obviously invited for a long time,
Right, yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
was kind of just like,
Because you didn't know what it was, or why?
yeah, man, it's a lot of culty shit out here, yo.
Right. Well, that's what a lot of people were saying,
Like,
that it's very culty.
Yeah, but it's a lot of cultier shit happening in Los Angeles all the time.
Some
So,
really
like,
weird stuff.
So like, you know, I love Ye, but I'm also very protective about my spirit, about what I devote time into and where I divide
And
my
especially
worship.
you didn't know what it was.
That was the thing. And I had seen some video. Also, I live in Chicago. Ye lives hella places because he's got way more money than me. So like me going to a Sunday service would be me devoting time, like working to go to that
Like I'm
stuff.
flying to Sunday service.
And one of me and Kanye's close friends, Francis and the Lights, was staying out here with Ye. He was going to all the services and helping out. And my one caveat when it first started was that Ye did probably one or two gospel songs, and a lot of the songs he was reworking his old songs.
Yeah.
That was the beginning idea.
Yeah.
And what I told Francis was I couldn't go until they were playing more gospel music. And now it's all gospel music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even songs that aren't his getting turned into gospel songs. And like, you know, I'm just glad that God gave me a heart of flesh to be like, yo, go check it out. See what's going on. I feel like there's a lot of purpose in it. And it's something that the world needs probably the most right now.
Was there a part of you that, even in Chicago, that didn't want to go because it was such a cosign, or you had already?
No, what's crazy is I didn't think about that until afterwards. I saw every headline included my name in it. But I do co-sign it.
I heard that.
I do think that it's 100% genuine worship, and probably the best way that we should do it. Sometimes I go to church and nobody sings.
Right.
So like,
They don't feel
Just-
like relatable. In
yeah,
a sense.
I think bringing out all those people and introducing them to this world of gospel that's existed. You know, they credit Chicago as the birthplace of gospel music. Like some of the oldest churches that really had pastors congregating their choirs to record music and put it out there for people to hear the sound of Jesus and the sound of praise. That started in Chicago. So him doing it the way that he's doing it, it's like I feel like this is, let's say this is probably one of the most important times in our lives. I mean, we're in 2019. We're on the cusp again of going into something that we don't really understand. So
and especially, man, we've been watching, just tell you the truth, I don't know what we're watching. when I look
terrible
at
things.
the world today,
Scary.
I'm like, man, for one, I wish I was in a position, which I could be, where I didn't have no phone, no internet, no this, because the outside that you're looking at and that you're viewing is horrible, bro. And you gotta have something that creates a wall.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that kind of wall, but
Yeah.
that's that barrier around all the bull.
Here's what's deep. A lot of things that we get presented to like makes us nostalgic for an easier time, right? And we like think back to the time of Obama or the time of Bill Clinton or the time of Bill Clinton is when they introduced the crime bill.
There it is.
And
we got three strikes.
rule.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They were, Ferguson happened during the Obama administration. You know what I'm saying? Like Colin Kaepernick kneeling happened during the Obama administration. I'm not saying that stuff to like make it a Democrats Republican thing because I'm the furthest from that. What I'm saying is the Bible says that this is not a holy world. Future, the artist, says it's an evil world we live in. That's the truth. Like there is no heaven on earth. There is no this place that we live in is, to best describe it, outside of what you would picture as the Garden of Eden. Like the world has had its ills for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So like it's not necessarily that we need to find a utopic space here. I think we need to gather a energy, since they like that word out here.
Yeah, they do.
They like the word energy.
Energy is a big word.
People talk about your energy a
That
lot
energy,
in LA.
man. I love your energy.
But that spirit, I think it's from an otherworldly place, and that we need to try and place in this world so that we can get closer to it. But I don't think that it's like, I think that the internet definitely tries to, just media as a whole, and just our innate spirits as people that are being born into sin. We naturally feel things like envy, like lust, like, second guessing or assuming the worst. Certain things that are just natural in our DNA. We push out and we take things through that filter. But the truth is, like, we just gotta, it's not necessarily about shutting out the bad things that are happening. It's about knowing how to attack them. It's not always like just shutting down or being like, I wish we were back in the days of this, because those days weren't that good either.
Yeah.
You're a true champion, though.
Everything always looked better in the rearview mirror, though.
Right.
Man, I remember, like, man, didn't you get beat up over there?
Oh, yeah, that's right. But you are a true champion of bringing good things to Chicago, but also the world, and inspiring a lot of people with everything that you've done with giving back and going to the schools, and all of your projects always have this great goodness that.
And that's not even like community service, like probation or nothing.
Just trying to do it.
You're doing this out of your heart.
Yeah, man.
Willingly.
Why is that so important to you?
I don't know, man.
And you give amounts. Like,
A
we
lot.
think we do something. They be like, yeah, Chance
the Rapper.
donated $1 million. I'm like,
Again?
oh, man.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and here I am with this wrinkled ass 20 in my hand. Like, this dude, man. You know what I'm saying?
When I was a kid, my mom, we used to have a Dunkin' Donuts that used to be right on 79th and it's not Wentworth. I can't remember. People gonna beat me up for this.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Wow.
But right,
Chicago
You want us to
right
catch
off-
it in the edit?
right on 79th in Princeton, there used to be a Dunkin' Donuts that was mixed with a Subway. And my mom would take us there every morning on the way to school. And there was a homeless dude that would sit out at the window of this Dunkin' Donuts and ask for change after you left the drive-thru. And every day my mom gave him money. And I think one day I just asked her, like, as I got older, like, what if this nigga's buying heroin? I don't know. What is it doing? And she expressed to me that it's not up to us, first of all, to judge anybody, because every single person has experienced or committed some sort of sin just through being born here. But on a higher note than that, regardless of what somebody's going to do with what you give them, your gift comes in being able to gift something to somebody.
Yes.
Yep.
You get blessed when you decide to go out on a limb and help somebody out. So I feel like in one part, it's my duty to, just as being a person that's been blessed with the gifts that I got, because beyond money or fame, like, I'm a talented guy. Like, I can make something happen for somebody in a million different ways. So, like, one, it's just my duty. And then two, I think I was just raised by good people. Like, and not good people like they're innately good, but like good in the sense that they try to be good.
Right. Have you ever did something where you donated and you got caught up in the moment, and then later on you're like, oh,
I gave too much.
I need to put that many zeros.
Half the check back for
Like
you.
100% of the time, I would say I look back and I'm
I
like,
love the
wait,
honesty.
how much did we give? Did we give it all to them?
Did it go
the whole
through?
tour. Well, I got to postpone this tour. I done gave the whole thing up.
Chance, it seems like you're in a really good place with God, but has there ever been a time where you questioned him or been like
Hell yeah.
in a place where you're like, what is going on here?
All
Can't
the time.
say hell yeah. No,
I'm
I'm
sorry. Right. No, I think like I'm just like everybody else. Like I have a lot of outside influences. Like I have. I'm sorry. We're like
He's playing
footsie
footsie
right now.
over
I'm
here
sorry,
with me.
yo. Yeah, my
All right.
Messing up my
Well,
kicks.
let's call his wife.
Yeah.
Please, no. Your husband over here playing footsie like that.
I think just like anybody else, like I go through my moments of just feeling alone, feeling like, you know, things aren't working out for me, or things are here's a real thing that's happening in my life. Just not to speak metaphorically, like at times it feels like, or at least there was a time where I felt like, okay, I rapped about God and I got everything that I wanted. I got the Grammys. I got, you know what I'm saying? I got the money. I got the freedom of just traveling around. I'm gonna figure out the stuff with my girl later, but like I got everything. You know what I mean? And then I made this album, and like a lot of things got harder for me. Like, just like this was like me really feeling like I'm going out there with you, God. Like, not just in the production of the music, but just the decision in my life. Like, I don't have a lot of friends that's rappers that's married, other than Offset. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and other people that are married, that you guys are like more like my mentors. We're not the same age, so it's like,
Right.
I that decision, obviously, and me as a rapper, because everybody that's watching this video is looking at me as a rapper, but like for my in my real
Personal.
life, how I operate with around my friends and stuff, like nobody else has done this, and it's like, you know, it just gets harder. You know what I'm saying? Like in every aspect of life, and I felt like somebody had came to talk. Oh, like I went to church and there was a sermon about like how to feel when you feel like you did everything God asked you, and instead of returning favor to you, He gave you more adversity. And that's like, that's a deep space to be,
That is.
yo. To feel like the carrier of something and you getting your ass beat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to feel like, man, I'm carrying a heavy load and it's not necessarily going. And I think like,
Wow.
the key word, the word of the day here is faith. Like, we
So
don't
important.
do this for ourselves. We don't do this for cause and effect. We do this out of faith.
Yeah.
We
and,
do
and
this.
you did question.
Yeah. I
Let me
have
tell you,
questions.
man, just when you said that, right? I've been knowing Jose for years, my buddy Jose, right? And Jose has always been a great guy. And then, you know, when he found the Lord years ago, he's always been that person. Talk about the Lord, bring the Lord into your life, you know, and not beating you up with it, but just living by example and everything.
Yeah.
And I would look at Jose and I'd be like, man, look how great he's doing. And then he's at my house one day. His wife calls. Just when I'm thinking that this man deserves everything, he lost his 5-year-old son. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking like, God, all the great things, and I'm questioning, God, all the great things that this man does and who Jose is, like, how did you take his son? And that's a whole different conversation that I wouldn't bring on air with Jose, but just what he learned from that. Because I would have even probably, I don't know, does that push you even further away? But it just brought him closer where I was like, wow.
I think it depends on the person too,
Yeah,
though, because
yeah, man.
for me, losing my mom took me away from God.
Right,
For a whole
at
12
13,
years.
yeah.
At 13, I was really angry. And it's like, because you think about that, you know, it's like, I've done everything right. I'm a child. My brothers are children. Like, how could you, to this nice lady, like, how could you do this to her? So, yeah, you do start to question, you know, and it does different things for different people, because Jose, it did the opposite. It brought him closer to me. It took
And
me
it
so
still
far
was
away
a lot
from him.
of, you know, questioning
Of
in here. And I
course.
remember doing, because we laugh wholeheartedly. And I remember praying one day and I said, God, I said, when is Jose going to laugh with me again? And now when we get in the car and we just laugh, I'm just like, oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think even just laugh off of things that's not even funny just to make me feel a little better. You know
Yeah, it's extra laughter. Like, it wasn't that funny.
It wasn't that funny. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I was saying with the question, you know what I'm saying? When you're saying like, man, I got it all. And then there's more on you. There's more on you. But that also comes to, you know, that you got to bear it. You know what I'm saying? You got to, sometimes we carry heavy loads for other people as well.
Yeah, God, the way that this all operates is like, this is the trial run. Like, this is not the absolute power that we, you know, have. Like, this isn't the best forms of our bodies or the best thoughts that we could have, the most function in our hearts, like the fastest we can run, as high as we can jump. This is like the idea of gravity holding us down. Like, that's what this world is. And some of us get to that finish line where we get to really feel what it feels like to be in the presence of God earlier than other people. And it hurts for the people that are still here. My little cousin Daquan passed away about a month ago.
Sorry to hear that.
And thank you. Yeah. And I think like the biggest thing that I took away from it was how much closer my family had gotten before that happened. And the closeness that we got right before he passed away still pales in comparison to how much closer we are after his service, and how we talked about how God had moved through all of our lives and how many things he had brought us through and how many miracles we had experienced, and how it made sense for Daquan to be able to experience that first, because he's somebody that I could talk about wholeheartedly. I know that he's in heaven. And that's deep, yo, because what the Bible says is when we see him, we will be like him. And it's just that's the pinnacle, yo. Like that's what I think like we want to be, as the best version of ourselves, the best version of human. Like, if you read about Jesus, that's a sinless, clean exemplification of God. Like,
how do you handle your enoughs? And when I say the enoughs, I got a lot of enoughs, and I explain it to people. Like, you got to be hip hop enough. You got to be smart enough. You got to be street enough. You got to be hood enough. You got to be so-called boardroom enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of enoughs. Father enough, performer enough, husband enough. Like, how do you handle all the enoughs?
I just try and keep going. Like, that's like, it's been a whirlwind. Like, even past the decision to like put off these shows, like, I still got hella other commitments.
Yeah.
And like,
that's why you walked in here like,
like,
here I am.
Gotta walk in here.
I'm figuring it out, and I'm working, and I'm trying. I think that's like the main thing. It's like, I'm trying.
Always
right
work in progress.
Yeah. Like,
I got to talk about the album, The Big Day.
Yeah.
How do you choose collaborations? And I mean, because collaborations are all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that happen where you'll say, okay, John Legend, Made in Tokyo, The Baby, which is like, damn, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then we see In Vogue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Megan
Megan Thee
Stallion.
Stallion, Gucci Mane, like
Randy Newman.
I was about to say that. Randy
Mendes.
Newman. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you pick and choose?
I think ever since Surf, it's all been kind of like tone based. I think with Ass Rap and Tender, I didn't really think that much about the concept of the album and how that worked with its features as much as I just worried about the content I was making. And I just send out songs to people like, please, Donald Glover, put a verse on this. Like, you know what I'm saying? But when I got to the Surf project with the band, and I did Coloring Book, and I did this one, I thought about the tone and the theme ahead of time, but then I started to think about every single piece of that. So like a big motif of The Big Day is nostalgia. Like things that, you know, remind me, because when you're at your wedding day, all you could think about is everybody in the room being people I knew 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think like I thought about all the decisions that got me there, and I figured like it made sense for the album. I'm already good at making nostalgic music or making good references to old TV shows and stuff, but I wanted to like take that to the max on this one. So like Randy Newman is for my generation.
Who gets in touch with Randy Newman? And does Randy Newman know Chance the Rapper?
So what's deep is Randy Newman did know me. I didn't know him personally, obviously. Different generational gap there, but I tried to work with him on Surf, and so I got his number back then, and been trying to make things work since then. And he came to the studio. Randy Newman is in his 70s. Like he's an old man.
Is there anyone
like he has assistants?
Right? Is there anyone that listens to The Big Day and say, "Man, Chance the Rapper, this guy is always giving opportunities. He just, man, whoever this Randy Newman is, this guy is gonna go."
Definitely. But it's like a weird age gap because
you see that just happened with Post Malone and Ozzy Osbourne.
No, wait, what happened with them?
Post Malone got a song with Ozzy Osbourne and Travis Scott, and people were literally like, "Hey, I don't know who this Ozzy Osbourne is, but this guy is going to go."
Posty put him on the map.
Yeah, Post put him on the map.
Yeah, shout out him for giving a shot to a young dude like Ozzy Osbourne.
And so now here we are with The Big Day, and you find this man.
My generation is different because we grew up on Toy Story. That was the first movie that my parents took me to go see.
So that's how your relationship.
So, it's like that's what it is. Like a lot of these voices for us is like, I remember that shit from when I was a little kid.
I got you. All right, so you got a friend in me.
But then also another big when each part of it like kind of compartmentalized, like it makes a lot of sense. Like for a big part of it is I'm raising 2 young black girls and I'm married, obviously my black woman of a wife. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know, some of my sensibilities and taste in music is kind of more shaped by what she likes, and you know, like just trying to reach certain places or pull from certain places. That's how you get In Vogue and SWV and Ciara Sheard and, you know, Meg Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj on 2 tracks and closing out my whole album. Like it makes sense because I do, like, you know, to a certain extent, kind of just, I don't know, look up to my wife. Like I think
beautiful.
What she has to offer as a woman and as, you know, a woman of God and as a, you know, just like a person that's smarter than me that actually went to college and stuff. Like I trust her sensibilities. I trust her. You know, I like what she likes.
Have you ever been gun shy on taking the chance to do, and no pun intended, but to do this kind of album or any of your music where you feel like, man, is my audience gonna understand this? Because sometimes I'll go to a Chance the Rapper show, and when we just talk about black wife, your 2 black kids, and then I look at the audience, and I'm like, whoa,
it's all white boys here.
But they
all
get
white
it.
boys. Yeah,
it's
or whatever
along.
it is. You know, if it's not the whole, it's the buffet. I get this, I get this, I get this.
That's the good part about the album being a wedding based album. Is like there's a lot of different styles of music you can dance to. A lot of different styles of music that remind you of love.
So you're the wedding singer.
Yeah, so I'm like, I got every hit in the book. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing only the hits. But yeah, it's always like I wouldn't be true to myself if I kept trying to work based off of my audience. Because just being honest, even though I'm very, very, you know, indebted to my fans, like my fans is like kind of a loosely based word. Because it's like, even if you say day one fans, because my mom is a day one fan. You know what I'm saying? Like my people I went to high school with are day one fans. But it's like for every single person that listens to my music, there's a different criteria for what it takes to be a day one fan, or a criteria for what it means to make the music that's true in its ethical core to what Chance represents. Like that representation is different to people depending on what song you got put on to first, right? So,
because they'll come up to you and it's always something else. It's always kind of like, this one got me, or this one brought me to you, or just the way I'll play this when I feel a certain way.
Yeah.
So
I got a song on the album with my brother Taylor Bennett, who also just put out his album, The American Reject, that did really well. And I'm super proud of him. I got a record with him on this on this album called Rue. And
so good.
Yeah. So when me and my dad, when we went on our what is it called? That you do before you get married, bachelor's party.
Yeah.
we were supposed to go
You
to
went with your
Trinidad. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we were
That
supposed
means
to.
you weren't doing nothing crazy.
Exactly. But originally we were gonna go to Carnival.
Oh,
That
okay.
was the plan.
Well,
We
Well,
were
that's
going
good
to
for you to
that.
go to that, but go ahead.
Ranch, but it was gonna be ranch.
Can you imagine that?
Raunchy
Oh, I love it.
sauce.
Like a for real bachelor.
Last
Come back
minute.
with all these beads. Like, how you get all them beads? You know what I'm
Don't ask no
saying?
questions.
Yeah.
No, we changed the last minute and we went on a trip. Just me, my groomsmen, and my dad. We went to Southern California and did like a fishing trip. That was like this is what I want to do.
Yeah, man.
And me and my brother, historically, up until that moment, up until that trip, we used to fight all the time. Like, and all our friends, it's like, I don't know, that's just like how we get down. But like, we were on this trip, my dad's there, and me and Tay got into it over something so stupid that I wouldn't even bring it up. But we got into it or whatever, and my dad like pulled us aside after and was like, y'all are grown, for one. You're grown men. Two, this is like an important event in your lives that you guys are about to remember by this moment, as opposed to like you guys actually being brothers.
Right.
But three, we're not, him as a father, he was just saying like, I'm not going to be around here forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys come to me with issues a lot and talk to see each other with me. But like, my biggest thing as a father that I wanted to instill in you guys is to have each other's back regardless. Because this world is not, these people in this world are not your friends. Your friends that are in the front of the bus, your groomsmen, those are not your friends. Your friend is your brother. And that's what my dad's taught me since I was a kid. But I think it did not click to me until this moment in my life. And finally, my brother's on my album. He does one of the best verses on the album. And it's on a song called Rue, about how we'll really do that to somebody if they tweak on the other one.
Yeah.
Because that's how we always operated, but we didn't really.
Like, yeah, we can get down,
brotherhood.
but you can't get down with
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, don't get it twisted.
Exactly. And so, like, I think, like, just having a song like that on the album that speaks specifically to the relationship, how a relationship should be between two brothers, real brothers,
And I
not
love
friends.
that Dad showed y'all that too.
Yeah. Oh, you showed me a lot
Let
of
me
things.
ask you about Charles Alexander. Like, just what? Yeah, just
Charles Alexander.
let me ask you about Charles. Like,
Who's Charles?
your run-ins with Charles Alexander.
I have no idea who that is. Who's Charles Alexander?
Oh, okay. You saw what I was doing. That's my dad. I just never met him. But he's from Chicago as well, so I was just wondering if it was like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Hilarious.
No, for real. I was like, oh my God.
I don't know your dad either.
Yo, okay, cool. So you know
Just
about as
making
much
sure.
as, okay. Because when you was
That is
having these
hilarious.
memories of like, man, my dad, but, you know what I'm saying? I just remember like,
No, that speaks to the point, though. It's like, I have songs on there that are so unique
excuse
to
me for
my
a second.
experience.
It's not that funny. Thank you.
Over too hard over
Yeah,
there.
your dad walked out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, at least mine wasn't there to walk out. Go ahead, please. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's obvious your dad made a decision after he met you. Like, hey, you know what, man?
I don't know about this one.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
No, it's important to speak to your own experience, regardless of what you think might happen on it, because even though everybody that listens to my music didn't necessarily grow up with their dad or have a great relationship with their brother or even have a brother,
Right.
the response to the track was a lot of people loved it. A lot of people, it was their
love
favorite
it.
song.
Right.
So it's songs that I never heard get made before. I never heard a song that dissed side chicks from a male rapper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, and not side
Can't
chicks,
make-
because that's bogus. Side
like
chicks and side niggas, side
Right,
pieces
right.
as a whole. The idea of identifying as that or wanting that. Never heard it before, but I had to make the song. Never heard a song by a rapper that just the whole hook is "I ain't single no more." I ain't single no. These songs didn't exist, and I had to make them.
Right.
And there was a point where I will definitely say I was fearful of how they would exist in the
Today?
in the realm of like. Well, I mean, it's just like you gotta fit your stuff in. That's
Right.
the crazy thing. It's like no matter what, even if you do all your stuff separate from everybody, and you're like, you're an artist by yourself, and you don't care about the mainstream stuff, like at some point somebody has to put your music in a playlist.
Right.
Right. You have to get played.
At a certain point, somebody's got to hear your song after another song on the radio, and it's like, how does that dissonance
Right.
work on the listener? Like, is it something that's so different that they just can't experience it, they can't understand it, they can't take it in? And I definitely just had that fear at one point, and now I just feel way better about it.
Chance the Rapper in the Neighborhood, man. The Big Day, the album. Will you do any more acting? Because there's so much in you, bro. And I remember when I saw you host Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
When you did Steve Harvey Lost Son.
Hey,
Man,
I wrote that sketch.
Oh, you wrote
Wow.
a perfect
Yeah,
sketch.
thank you, man. Me and my homie Reese. Shout out to my homie Reese from Chicago.
Hey, man, is there anything down the line?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, bro. And I didn't know you wrote that sketch.
Yeah, I wrote that sketch, and I also wrote a sketch called Batman Thanksgiving, and it was like about how Batman was like beating up all these like what do you call them, criminals.
Did that make it to SNL?
It did, but it got watered down. They didn't like certain words I was using. I was using words like excessive force and like
Trying to
it was
get the
a big
message in for us
metaphor,
too.
and they were like,
Gotcha.
a little too on the nose.
Yeah, like
So-
we see this. We see what you're doing here.
But it was dope, and I really like comedic writing.
Mm-hmm.
I really like one of my favorite parts of like movies is dialogue. Like I really like how like I don't know. I study film. I like film.
Do
a
you
lot.
watch a lot?
Yeah, I watch a lot of movies. I'm the type of dude that could like, if we saw anything, I'd be like, that's this actor, and they were in this many films. And
What's your last one that you've seen? Can you go into a theater, or do they send them to the house?
I go,
You know?
damn, yeah, it doesn't work like that. I don't know. I'm in Chicago. Like I have to walk around like a normal person because there's no other like. There's like maybe 7 other celebrities that live there. So it's like I don't
get
get any
special
special
treatment.
treatment.
Have you ever
I
got
just
beat up
walk
at
around.
2:30 in the morning in a windstorm?
Oh my god.
Bye.
Let's not bring up Jussie Smollett. Yeah,
Smollett.
let's-
Smollett.
let's
Yeah.
also get that nigga a break, Joe.
Right. Yeah, right.
Give my man's a break, yo. We don't know what happened. Yeah, I said it. I fucking said it.
You
It got
said
real
we don't
quiet.
wait.
You
You
know
said
why?
we
Got
real
don't
fucking
know what
quiet.
happened.
We don't know what happened.
We don't
don't.
know what happened.
Well,
I'm not a betting man, but
I'm not a betting man either. I'm not a judgmental dude either.
same.
And I feel like
but you just not saying it. You got shit all in your head right
I
now.
said he was a gay Tupac, man.
That's where he lost her at.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
No.
when he lost me. I was like, wait, what? Why you gotta bring Tupac into this?
Let's get back to the movies.
Please.
Yeah,
Please.
You
Before
being
that
able to
becomes
go
the
in.
headline.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It'd be everything we
Chance
talked
said-
about.
Chance the Rapper
God and-
supports.
Yeah, you know, Jussie.
Yeah.
So
They got
yeah,
real
so how
quiet.
do you go to the movies? Are you hoodie hat and you walk in, or
I like to. So actually, I'm not even gonna lie. The last 2 times I went to the movie theaters, I did actually get to go in through the back entrance, walk
As
through
you
the
should.
kitchen. Pretty cool.
damn, they got a kitchen?
experience.
Okay.
All right, now
That's
we
what
know.
happens when you get really famous. I bet Drake could attest to this. You have to start going through like the kitchen, the back. They take you to the back door.
And that's when you stop eating there.
the
You're like,
kitchen is it's like the ground is slimy. You're like
why am I
slipping, walking
slipping?
through.
My foot is stuck.
But yeah, that's what where fame
Hey
will
man,
take you.
is it crazy the benefits of being a celebrity versus when you weren't? Like there were times I remember like me and my partners, right? It was 3 of us. We went to go rent a movie, and the movie was $2.17 to return. And between the 3 of us, we didn't have $2.17.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now, and even growing up like homeless
that
and not having
$2.17.
but not having food, you know what I'm saying? Now you walk into a place like, oh, baby, we got you. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
it's
now I'm
free.
like, yo, let me have this too.
Yeah.
Let me have this.
No,
Let me have
definitely.
this. You know, do you enjoy the benefits of being Chance the Rapper?
I do. I think like it's also cool like watching it because it's like I think at a very early stage, anybody that gets to or close to the level of fame that they're trying to access, they start to realize like, this shit is fake.
Yeah.
Like it's like this is all perspective. Like I'm not famous to everybody, and people deal with what they think this fame is differently. So somebody might love me, but somebody else might try and rob me or something. So like you start to realize that stuff is, a little bit fake. But what I started to do is I just start to take in like and enjoy or appreciate what it means for other people. You know what I mean? Like Chicago hasn't really for a long time had somebody that got famous and stayed in the city.
I was going to ask you,
part.
why do you stay in Chicago? Because from the outside, we look at, it's crime rate, it's this, it's that. You can choose to live anywhere. And why do you stay home?
I love that some people think that it's because like I'm the superhero of Chicago and like I
Right.
just can't leave. But it's just because my parents live there. They help me with my kids. Like,
got some
I
free
don't have a
Mixtapes.
babysitter
and
anywhere
they don't
else.
want to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If they decide to leave somewhere, I'm
going.
definitely out of Chicago.
Right, yeah, like we wanted to move to Florida. I guess
Yeah. It's like, I guess we're going to Fort
Guess I'll be-
Lauderdale.
Yeah, I guess I'll be
Don't
out
go
that
there.
way.
Golfing.
Hey man, what do you feel about the weekend? His new look that he have. Have you seen? Have you seen this the chance look that he have right now?
I knew that's why you were asking.
Yeah, man.
People
Like-
keep tagging me in that.
Like-
That does not look like
But
me.
you know what it is?
People
People
think they
know
do.
which picture to take of you,
Yeah.
and they know which picture to take of.
I haven't
the
even seen the
weekend.
side by side. I just
Give me
keep
the
getting
side by
tagged in
side.
it.
Yeah, give me the side. You should. What you mean you ain't seen it? It's on your Instagram.
Yeah, people just keep sending me
You
a
put it
picture
out.
of him, but there's no side by side. They just keep saying, "Oh, here you go. You must have dropped this."
So is there a beef going on with you on the weekend, getting in your lane?
I don't know what's going on. I don't think he looks like me. I think he looks like
I
Hill
think he-
Harper.
Wow. So you think he getting in Hills lane?
Yeah, that's
I
Hill
thought-
Harper should check him.
I thought he was getting into your lane, bro, and you were gonna write a hot 16 for him.
No, I
You
love
know?
the weekend, man. I wish the weekend would take my look, but my look is a little more subdued.
Right.
It involves like
Do
I
you
don't
like
know.
dressing up?
I do like dressing up, but I don't have a great closet. That's the problem. I own
Does
a
your
lot
closet
of great,
look like this?
Yeah, it's
it look
all
like- is it
it's
a-
all sweatshirts and swishy pants.
How many
Push your
hats
pants?
do you think you own?
Own or how many are in my closet?
How many are in your closet? Because you own a whole
Probably
warehouse.
30. That's the thing. Is like that's the reason why I don't dress well. Is because all my nice clothes are like at different warehouses around the state. So like they're like in like storage type
Damn.
stuff. But like
That's how many you have. But
Yeah.
yeah. Storage.
I had said that like there were 12 storage spaces.
Have
There's
you ever
3.
given
Wow.
anyone the hat off your head? Like somebody would probably
yeah.
want that 3.
A couple times I have, but I try when people ask me for it, I say no. But every once
Because
in a
they
while,
will.
it's
Right.
on
Can I
my
have your
heart.
hat?
Yeah, I hate that, yo.
Yeah.
You remember when you
and
were
I
in
think
grade
that'd
school?
be the first thing that somebody would come and say, "Can I have your hat?"
Yeah, it's always a white girl.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my
For some
gosh.
reason, white
Oh my
girls
God,
think
can I
they
have
look
your hat?
great with hats on.
Or that they
Right.
could have your hat.
Yeah, no,
And you
can't
know
have
what?
my
If
hat.
you would have got into giving your hat away,
It would have been
you
the
would have
thing.
never
Yeah.
not been able to. You couldn't have stopped.
There was a short period of time where I used to Michael Jackson it. I used to take the
And
like the
throw it.
fedora and throw it into
No.
the
Oh,
crowd.
Right.
And then I was like, I'm losing money doing this.
Yeah, like hats. You know what I'm
Somebody could
saying?
have bought my hat tonight at the merch stands.
And then it'd be one thing when somebody go to grab the hat, hurt themselves,
Hurt somebody
and-
else.
Yeah, and
Now
then
you're
they
getting
sue
sued.
you for a kind gesture,
Yeah, I
trying
don't
to throw the
anything.
hat out.
Yeah, because people act like it's a fucking bouquet of flowers. I'm sorry I keep cursing on this thing. We're not live, right? Thank God
Yeah.
in Jesus.
Man, so now you just keep it all on.
Sheesh. I don't even curse that much, so let me just apologize.
So
I don't
it's
know why I
us
keep
now?
cursing. I think
It's
it
our
is the
fault?
space. It's the neighborhood.
Oh wow, it's
Wow.
our energy. It's our energy.
And,
There's something going on in this-
I've been trying to hold back from cursing today. Do you
I'm
know
so
how many
sorry.
fuck shit motherfucking bitches I wanted to say?
Because
Oh
he's
my
the only
God.
one that's
Now
been
you got it
cussing.
out.
Nobody
Yeah.
else in this room has said a bad word but you.
I don't know what's going on.
Jose
Actually,
gonna
usually
hold
when I
It's
you up
you,
in
not
prayer when
us.
you leave out of here.
please
too.
do
Yeah.
in real life. though.
Don't try to blame us for your potty mouth.
I'm not a cusser.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe how you came
I've never
in
done
here.
this before, Big.
Yeah, man. And now
my
we
first time
can't
doing
even
this.
call this portion of the show the gospel hour like we usually do.
Ruined it.
Thank you, Chance the Sin.
The sinner.
Oh my gosh. Let me ask you this, man. If a dog and a pie cost had a race, which one would win?
If a dog and a pie coast,
If,
I'm
if
sorry.
a dog and a pie cost had a race, which one would win?
What is a pie cost?
How about $7? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Got it.
Chance to represent the neighborhood, Big Boy's
Big
neighborhood.
boy.
like a pie?
Like a pie cost.
What is a pie cost?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is right there. All righty.
Got him.
I thought that
You
it
He's like,
tricked
oh
me.
great.
Yeah, I thought it
You
would have
tricked
went
yourself.
over.
That was
Thought it would
trickery.
have went over way better than that.
Is there anybody that you haven't gotten a chance to collaborate with that you would love to? What's your ultimate collaboration?
This is like whenever somebody does this, I feel like it's like a big opportunity,
pressure.
and I didn't
Do
study
it.
for the test.
You
People
should've
are-
You're
studied.
gonna get in the car like
yeah, instantly. There's a bunch of people that I haven't worked with. There's people that I'm friends with that we just still haven't gotten a track done yet. Like Earl Sweatshirt, I think is one of the greatest writers of our generation, and I've always just wanted to get on a record with him and talk about some serious stuff. I
That's a
think
hell of a name.
obviously Stevie Wonder is the
Ooh.
greatest living artist and also greatest artist of all time, and we're just lucky that we still live at the same time
I
as
heard
Stevie.
that.
There's so many. A lot of Missy Elliott.
Ooh.
Oop,
Go ahead
Missy
now.
Elliott. I muted myself for a second.
Because you don't like female rappers.
I didn't
Right,
want.
we see what's going
just
on.
for the record, I got a Meg Thee Stallion.
No, I'm
record.
just
And you got
Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
twice.
Cardi B.
Yeah, don't do that.
Speaking
Actually-
of Cardi, you guys were Rhythm and Flow, Netflix.
Yeah, Rhythm and Flow
It's
is
coming.
coming
Who
up.
won that?
You're trying to get me fired.
Yeah, it's coming up on. Is it Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It starts October something.
Yeah,
and
yeah. We get it right.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
they still got to pay me. I don't know the date, but
Right.
it's coming up soon. Definitely, it's actually super dope because it's one of the first times that Netflix is doing episodic content.
Yeah,
So
man.
check in every
Awesome.
week for new episodes, and yeah, it's a real
How
series.
is it to be a judge on something like that? To tell someone
that
weekly
ain't it.
or like, damn, you didn't do it, or you're going home.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Okay.
I just tell them that it was not good.
I heard
But
that.
it's a lie because the thing is, everybody that's on the show could rap. Like you
Right,
couldn't
right,
be on
right,
the show
right.
if you couldn't rap. So it's just about picking the ones that did the worst on that specific challenge and just letting them go.
How do you tell someone no? That's like either somebody, man, I got this with you, man. I got man. If you could lay a verse on here, like,
If it's a no, I just give them my email.
Oh no.
and
Send
you
it
know,
here.
you know which email is
I'm
going
just
to.
kidding.
Yeah.
No, that's a bad joke to make because there's so many people that I've
got
done that
Imagine
to
email.
recently.
they're like, oh.
Like he did that to
I'm
me.
just joking. I
you're
mean,
not.
all right. I just actually also told everybody I was taking paternity leave. I just happened to be at this radio station right,
right.
now.
Yeah.
In real life, I do need a break. So please don't ask me for that verse. I literally just thought of 13 people that are gonna text me
Oh,
when
no.
this airs. But yeah,
I'm
I'm
pretty
just
sure everybody wants a chance verse.
just so you know, the reason why all the chance verses have good little metaphors in them and are fire every time is because I take like at least 6 hours to do a feature verse for
You
somebody.
take your time,
I take hella
and
time.
it's very specific.
Yeah.
very specific.
So like it's not that like I just am blowing it off, it's that I might have started it and stopped it 12 times.
But
since I
sometimes you
the-
gotta say a hard no as well. You land in Detroit, some dude come up to you.
Oh,
You know what I'm
God.
saying?
That's a
And-
no-fly zone.
and he just want us, or anywhere in America.
Yeah.
And they just come up to you and they say, man, they need that hot 16 from you.
Yeah. Oh, here's the best way to do it, just for anybody. You kindly tell them that you'll take their email address, because I think it's whack to tell somebody you're just not gonna do a song for them. Because just from my perspective, I don't have anybody that could tell me I can't do a song. So like, if I haven't heard it, it's kind of bogus for me to be like, nah, I ain't on that, bro, and just
Right.
walk off. So what I do is I give people my email address. Probably once every like 2 weeks, I go through a Dropbox folder that I have of all the
Oh, so
features.
you really check.
Yeah, I check. And I listen to songs that I feel like are dope or something that I could add to or enhance or would make me look better by getting on. I jump on the song and I take however time it takes to get done. But I think like, I don't know. It's hard to say no, man. It's hard to say no to somebody else that's trying to make music with you, because it's like, I
Did you
used to
get no's coming up?
No, I don't think so. I didn't really ask that many people for verses though. No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
tripping. I did get no's because 10 Day and Acid Rap, I asked people for features that didn't get the feature done.
Without naming names, but like people we know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, famous people for sure. But here's the thing: no one says no. No one
Really?
says no. They say, "I'm gonna try and get it done," and
Which
then
is
you check
basically
back
a no?
in with them
That
until the
fake-ass
night
stuff.
before the album.
Yeah. Man, I'm going to try to get that for you. And then when it go, they be like, oh, damn, I tried to send that to you.
Here's a remix.
Yeah. You're not doing the remix?
You know who was really good about like staying on me was because I really, really wanted to be on Cardi's debut album, because I knew it was gonna be amazing. She's an amazing artist, amazing performer, just person. Really, just as a person, she's just a good. I like how her morals are set up. She's dope. I wanted to be on her album, obviously, and they sent a track over, and I was like, oh, this has to get done. And then obviously I worked on a bunch of other stuff, got engaged, all types of things, and basically the time kept running out, and then I had a conversation with Set, who I've known since 2012 or 2011. I know him
that's
outside
a
for
really
a
long
long
time.
Yeah, like for whatever reason, when 10 Day and Acid Rap were getting ready to come out, like that was right around the same time that Migos, where Set had just got out of jail, because there was a point where the Migos was just Takeoff and Quay. So like when Set got out, me and him, for whatever reason, I think because he's a Christian also, we got real close. And I remember when the time of the album was coming, he was like, yo, a lot of people been like super fake about this stuff, like been like telling us they was gonna do it and then telling us that they couldn't do it, or other people telling people that they shouldn't do a verse for her album. And like there's been a lot of fake stuff going on, so just like keep it real with me if you're gonna do it. And I was like, and really the other thing that actually changed my life, everything's coming back to me. I was at Coachella when we had this conversation. He was like, everybody doesn't know this, but like this thing between me and Cardi isn't fake. We actually just got married in my backyard like a couple of weeks ago, and we didn't tell anybody. And this was before it got announced that he was married. This was before like, you know, like everything that's happened through their relationship. And he was like, this is my wife. This is like who I'm gonna be with for the rest of my life. So like, as close as we are, just know we a million times closer. And this is what we need as a family. And obviously our album's dope. Obviously blah, blah, blah. But like, just keep it real with me if you're gonna do this. And I was like, before you said all that stuff, I wanted to do it, but now I'm gonna do it, definitely. And I'm gonna propose to my wife soon.
I heard that.
Yeah. So just being 100% clear about it.
Yeah.
Offset, yeah, definitely, probably one of the big inspirations in me manning up. Now there's still.
She just
That's a great
recently
track, too.
won an award, and she brought up how
talked about
Offset
it.
had to go out and
Get all her
get all
features.
these features.
That's
for her.
100% true.
Damn.
And how many people said no?
Yeah. Yep.
You would believe that it's like a label that goes out, but I would say in most artist cases, it's the artist directly reaching out. And Cardi amassed all this fame and like just cultural, like she had this, she like, I mean, to this day, she's like one of the biggest things. It's just because she has an infectious personality and she's great at making music. And when she, I don't know, when it came time for her to get her stuff done, a lot of people, I guess, just couldn't or wouldn't come through.
Also on the
Not that
same
they want
fact,
to.
when you say that people were saying don't get with her for whatever
Right.
reason, don't do this, don't do that, but you also put yourself in a position where you didn't get caught up in the Nicki Minaj, Cardi B so-called tug of war.
Right.
Like you got to align yourself with someone.
Yeah,
You know,
a lot of that stuff is produced. Like we live in a lot of everything is curated before we get to see it. Like all the information, the way that they phrase it to us, the way that that they pit people against.
the new iPhone.
Yeah, it's like it's made for you to like accept it a certain way. So like a lot of people had to choose a side. A lot of people had to like, and I think I don't want to speak for them at all, but I feel like to a certain extent they got pushed into that too, and I don't think that all of that was 100% their feelings. You know what I'm saying? So like, just being honest, they are two of the greatest recording artists. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's just facts. Like the way that their music touches people, the way that they've impacted music has been incredible. And just as a, for all that Nicki's done in the game, just at like beyond hip hop, like outside of hip hop, streaming rights, like the rights of us to like collect the monies that we're owed, the rights for Billboard to start accounting streams that they weren't counting. That was Nicki Minaj. So like, I respect Nicki in a whole different way, and I'm not close with Nicki on a friend level because she's more like, I would say, in a mentor space for me, because she's just like, you know what I'm saying, itty bitty piggy and monster. Like, literally, that's like my
Monster
that's
verse.
my life, yo. Yeah, the monster verse. When I did my ultralight
That
beam for
monster
Kanye,
verse is
people were
crazy.
saying that was my monster moment. They were saying that was my Nicki Minaj moment. So like,
You're like, oh, thanks.
She's she's already who Nicki is, and then Cardi's like, it's my friend. We're literally the exact same age. I think she's like 3 months younger than me. So like, I have a massive amount of respect for both of them, and I think we all should.
And Chance, do you know what your ultimate purpose in life, personally and as an artist, are?
Yeah, for sure.
What is it?
Like the ultimate goal would be to go to heaven. For sure. Like I think that's my main goal. I think like I have a lot of other goals, obviously being a great father, being a great rapper, being a great being a good human being to people, spreading the gospel, like playing certain shows. I have milestones in my book. A lot of them, not being cocky, I did get done already. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was a kid, I used to watch this old raggedy VHS recording of Hammer on SNL. And that was probably, I would say, my biggest goal to this day. I still actually haven't done it. I wanted to be the guest host and the musical guest. I've musical guest 3 times and did the host by itself once. So I still need to do that together. But like, there's like, there's certain goals that I already passed, and I think that's the way that you have to go about it. The ultimate, the one goal, definitely trying to make it there.
I heard that.
Go to heaven.
Yeah, man, and that's the same way I get down. I'm like, man,
It's beautiful.
there's so many people I just want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom is there. So definitely.
That's the super real.
Chance, I want to thank you for coming into the
Thank you.
neighborhood.
Thank you.
Hanging
guys,
out with
man.
us, man. It is a pleasure to have this moment with you.
Yes.
It's
and
an
I
honor to be
appreciate
here.
Man, it was an honor to have you here, man. Chance the rapper in the neighborhood, big boy in
Big
the neighborhood.
boy.